If a guard sees you sneaking around without a torch, you'll be in trouble.
Come here! You better... What did I do to you?
You're making a fool of yourself, drinking like that.
I already am a fool, I'll have you know. But I am embarrassed.
I'm surprised you're still standing. You must have drunk an entire cask. Good morning to you.
I have that document from the rat house for you.
Excellent. I knew I could count on you.
Judging by the contents, seems like you're dabbling in alchemy here at the mill.
That's not a bad guess. But don't forget about astrology, theurgy, transmutation, and a smidgen of demonology. Although that's something anyone with a grain of sense should avoid. Now show it to me, so I can finally get the knowledge. Good. Good. This will come in handy. Ah, yes. Of course.
What now?
That much? Going to need more. A lot more.
Did you hear me? What now?
Sorry. I got lost in thought. I owe you my thanks as well as reward for getting me the document. And maybe another little job? What do you say?
Don't tell me you've forgotten. I need to get to that wedding in Semi.
Don't worry. Your path is leading that way. Only it'll be a little longer than expected.
Are you yanking my pizzle?
Not at all. I'll get you to the wedding as sure as the heavens are above me, and the fire of the Creator is within me. But you'll have to wait a while. Besides, things are about to get really interesting. Step by step, we're moving closer to the great revelation.
Enough. I'm sick of listening to your cryptic blabbering. Supposing you first initiate me into the mysteries of your enchanting mill. This isn't any run-of-the-mill business, so to speak. I smell something devilish here.
Devilish? Not at all. You guessed it. It's nothing less than high learning. Alchemy! And when I say alchemy, I mean real alchemy. Not some hocus-pocus brewing of potions for creaky joints and bellyache.
Tell me more about it, then. Maybe I'll learn something useful.
I suppose. You are my apprentice, after all. You deserve to know what all of this is leading to. Now, pay close attention. I want to make a golem out of dough. Then, using secret alchemical practices and theurgy, bring him to life.
A golem? What's that?
A golem is a helper brought to life using divine words. A living statue endowed with massive strength. Can be made of clay, wood, stone, basically anything. I'll make one out of flour. Studying the Jewish Kabbals taught me a practice known as Maseh Bereshit. A mystic can use it to imitate the work of God. Just imagine. You know how helpful a golem would be at the mill? Carrying sacks, pulling wagons, standing guard. He wouldn't be much smarter than Zinnik, but he'd have the strength of 10 men.
My word. That sounds incredible. I have to see it.
So far, it's just all in my head. But if you're patient and help me, you'll see soon enough. It's in the interest of the advancement and prosperity of mankind. Just look at the Bible. Moses could command the waters and speak to God through the element of fire. Jesus brought the dead back to life. I've no doubt that if our great Holy Mother Church had been around at the time, they'd have crucified Jesus the same as the Pharisees, and all the apostles would have been burned at the stake.
So a golem, you say, made of flour? For the good of mankind?
Exactly!
And what about the good of me? You promised me a reward.
You already know that you can learn the practical application of certain useful skills from me. But for a few groschen, we could discuss the art on a more, let's say, theoretical level.
I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. Supposing you give me a few groschen first, as a reward for bringing you the document, and then I'll decide whether to trade the coin for some learning.
Oh, see now? I completely forgot. Here you go. So you don't go around saying that Miller Crazel is a pinch purse. I added in what I owe for those sacks you carried. And if you want some more work, there's plenty.
What's this next job all about?
I need to find a saltpeter pit.
Never a wasted word, eh, Crazel?
Short and to the point. That's my credo.
And how long will it take before you tell me what a saltpeter pit is?
A saltpeter pit is a pit in which saltpeter is formed.
This has something to do with that alchemy of yours, eh? I don't know much about that stuff.
Nitra is saltpeter. White crystals similar to salt.
And what needs salting here in the mill? Or is it supposed to be some peculiar Crazel wedding gift for a young semi?
Nothing of the sort. The Kabbalistic doctrine speaks of saltpeter as a vessel for the inexhaustible essence of life. Those white crystals are said to contain the very essence of being. That's precisely what we need to give life to our golem. Thanks to the ingredients from Hermes Trismegistos, his feet will never get tired and his fists will have the power to smash rocks. But saltpeter is the most important thing. Saltpeter will be the golem's heart.
So you're serious about this golem? And are you certain it'll work out?
Certainly. Otherwise, I wouldn't even try.
How much saltpeter will it take to bring to life such a big creature?
A lot. That's why I want you to find me a decent saltpeter pit. Do you understand?
I was hoping I'd learn something useful from you. But instead, you're making me wander around the countryside looking for some pit.
Well, you never know when an experience like that might come in handy.
All right, then. I'll look around for that saltpeter pit of yours. I just hope you know where to look, that you can point me in the right direction, and also that you'll get me into that wedding as a reward.
Yes, yes, and yes. Bonnie has a lead. She's a damned handy girl to have around. She can do anything you ask of her. But for you, the most important thing is that she knows how to look for niter, or saltpeter if you prefer.
So this Bonnie is some kind of witch who's in on this golem stuff.
Bonnie is someone I trust without question, and you should too. Not only will she teach you how to find saltpeter, but also how to differentiate it from common salt. The main difference is it has kind of cooling taste.
Hold your horses. You want me to taste that nasty stuff?
If you don't taste it, you could confuse it with some nasty rot. You don't want that.
Damn right.
Don't be such a lily liver, Henry. If Bonnie can taste saltpeter, so can you. She'll tell you the rest herself. You'll find her in the lair. That's a secret storage space I have here just by the pond. Only my best people can get in.
How can I get to this lair?
There's a bridge over the mill stream towards the southwest. Take the path to the left, just behind it along the pond. From that path, you turn right, uphill, between the rocks, and you'll find yourself right in front of the lair. You can't miss it. Oh, and so I don't forget. You could pick some herbs along the way to see Bonnie. It would make her very happy. She's just been through some tough times. Her dog died, and on top of that, she has to spend time with that blabbermouth Zinnik. On the other hand, Zinnik might be holding his tongue for a while after his encounter with the Troskowitz stocks.
If Bonnie spends time with Zinnik, she may want some spirits rather than herbs.
Bonnie? Never. Being a decent Christian, she avoids alcohol like the plague. Right along, so you're back as soon as possible.
To the lair. Whoa, whoa. Here you go. Take it. Look what I have for you. Here, Mutt.
Take a hike, you scumbag!
Get out of my sight now! Get out of here!
Come here!
What? Fuck off!
Pray for a quick death, you bastard!
That's more like it.
I've been waiting for you! Ha! You look like you're as drunk as a lord, Henry. Where did you get... Greetings, my friend.
Long time no see, eh?
Crazel gave you another job.
Yeah. I proved myself to him last time, so why not continue our collaboration?
Did you come here to make fun of me? Just like Bonnie? As soon as she showed up, she gave me hell over that manuscript.
No, not at all. I just need to find out something only you would know. So, Zinek, have you any experience with saltpeter?
Oh, I never want to see that shit again. I still have the taste of it in my mouth. And Bonnie and me was taking turns tasting it.
Weren't you afraid a dead soul would enter you through it?
What? What are you babbling about?
Dead souls pass time in niter crystals, don't they? That's why the miller is looking for them. To bring the golem to life.
You fool! We're looking for saltpeter to sell to butchers for salting meat. There's good coin in it.
Well, the miller told me something different.
You can't believe everything he says. A golem in the mill. He's yanking your pizzle.
You're all just trying to confuse me.
Crazel's a good teacher. You know how it is.
What can you tell me about Bonnie?
Well, you mean Cheeks or Jezebel?
Are those nicknames?
Dunger, Snowdrop, Vixen... We always come up with the stupidest names, and nobody sees through them anyway. Bonnie's been here the longest, and has the most experience. I'm surprised she still puts up with Crazel and his mad notions. And I think she likes animals more than people. When I try to talk to her about work or weather, she gets bored.
What sort of place is this?
Our secret place, where we can quietly plot sneaky plans for our beloved Miller.
Behind that boarded up door? What's inside that cliff?
You know, storage, rubbish, rats, filth. Look, I know Bonnie ordered me to clean up in there. Thanks to you, I'm sure the movement of goods will start again soon. So it'd probably be good to have some order around here. I just haven't got round to it yet.
Zinek, I have a few questions about the saltpeter pit we're looking for.
So now you need me, eh?
Why do you work for the miller?
Well, how can I put it? Anywhere else, they'd have kicked me out by now. The miller's the last person who'd still give me a job. He says every idiot is of some use at least.
And you see that as a compliment?
I see a coin in my hand every week. That's all I care about.
What did you do before you started working for the miller?
A bit of this, a bit of that. When I was still a boy, I stirred lye at a tannery, and then I slaved away at a dye house. But since I came to the town, it's been, well, let's say not exactly honest work. But that's what I'm best at, see?
What do you think of Crazel?
Is this some kind of test or what? I can think what I want, and I keep my opinion to myself. And you ought to do the same. Take care, friend.
Good day to you.
Ugh, fucking rain.
You silly doggy.
You silly.
Lord be with you.
I'm Henry, Miller Crazel's new apprentice. He sent me to search for a niter pit, and said you might be able to help me with that.
Of course I will. I'm Bonnie. Nice to meet you.
Bonnie? It's not a name I hear often.
It's not the name I was baptized with. In our craft, it ain't a good idea to tell people your real name. That's why we use nicknames. What should we call you?
The Butcher of Vranik.
Well, that's not very creative. You know what? I'll come up with a nickname for you myself when I get to know you better. Did you bring me something from the mill?
Actually, Crazel said you'd appreciate some herbs.
He's right there. Do you have some for me?
I've got something here.
My word, that's exactly what I need. The ingredients for the magic ritual.
What kind of magic ritual?
The kind where Zenek finally gets some sense into his head and stops making stupid beginner's mistakes. Just so you know, that mess with the author of Hermes Trismegistos would never have happened to me. Not me. While we're on the subject of rituals, did Crazel tell you about the golem?
He did.
And what do you think of it?
I'm curious to see what a golem made of flour will look like. I'm mostly curious to see if Crazel will really be able to breathe life into it with the help of saltpeter.
I'm more worried that as soon as it comes to life, it'll slay us all with one blow. So, if by some chance it looks like something's going wrong, you won't see my heels for dust. And I suggest you do the same. But that's enough of that. We're not going to stand here talking about flower golems when we've barely just met. I'd like to chat with you too, Henry. Get to know you a bit. But if you're in a hurry to find Crazel's saltpeter, I won't keep you.
No. I have plenty of time. But where to start?
You know what? I'll start. When they caught Zenek in Troskovitz, I was scared out of my mind that they'd catch me and clap me in the stocks. I had to hide out here for a while, so I haven't had anyone to talk to. Life in the lair isn't all fun and games. Zenek and all the other mill knuckleheads were never worth much as company. So I'm glad the miller's finally found a normal hand for once. You've got a beautiful dog. What's his name?
Mutt.
What a cute fella. How did you find each other?
He belonged to this girl I knew, Teresa. She saved my life in my hometown, Skalitz, when I went to bury my parents.
Well, That's what I call an interesting past. I used to have a dog, but I don't anymore.
He died.
He started getting these lumps all over his body. He stopped eating, just slept all the time. And then, well, what's done is done. And what about you? What kind of family are you from? Also, thieves?
No. Pa was a blacksmith. I inherited something from him, I hope.
Oh, really? Would you teach me how to make, maybe, barrel hoops?
Those are pretty hard. Wouldn't you rather start with, maybe nails?
Sure. I'm pretty quick to learn and patient. That is, with one exception. When Crazel starts spouting off his alchemy theories, I'd rather run for the hills. What do you think of the old miller, anyway?
I don't know what to say to that. I still don't know him all that well.
I understand. Best not to bite the hand that feeds you for no good reason. Thanks for talking to me. It really is good to have someone to pour my heart out to. But now, about that saltpeter. Before you came, and before Zenek fucked up with the manuscript, we collected saltpeter all over the place, mainly in sties. It has to be scraped from the walls. Horrible work, time-consuming and annoying. I'm not going to lie to you. We also looked in a few chests, just in case. You know. Anyhow, now all the sties in the region are scraped clean and we're sitting pretty on a nice barrel of saltpeter.
Barrel is quite a lot.
For the whole Trotsky region, aye. Unfortunately, Krazel said we need at least 6 times as much.
6 times? Will one saltpeter pit be enough?
I reckon so. There should be as much as Krazel needs for his masterwork. If you're looking for it, you ought to know how saltpeter forms. Do you have any idea?
No, I don't. And Krazel, of course, didn't tell me shit.
Don't forget that saltpeter crystals are formed in places where something is rotting. It can be shit or carcasses. Well, a saltpeter pit is actually nothing more than a mass grave, the best natural saltpeter maker.
Krazel said saltpeter is a vessel for life energy. I get it that it's left over from dead bodies, but how do you get it from shit?
God's mysterious ways. You know how it is.
And he also wanted me to taste it. That's nonsense, though, isn't it?
Unfortunately, it isn't. Otherwise, you won't know if it's saltpeter or some other shit. It feels kind of cold on the tongue.
Jesus. And you know where to look for such a pit full of carcasses, do you?
Not exactly, but I have an idea. Times are evil and there's plenty of corpses. A person who's digging holes and throwing dead bodies into them and doesn't even know he's got a a saltpeter mine.
The local gravedigger?
Exactly. And the one we have here in the region is also the knacker.
Ah, the gravedigger Ignatius. I've already met him. He lives outside Troskowitz in the direction of Apollonia, right?
Aye, that's him.
So I'm in for a walk to the cemetery.
Seems like it. Too bad you couldn't have walked around the county with us before. It was fun. And pretty useful experience. I learned a lot during that time, and I won't keep it to myself. I'd be happy to teach you something, if you want.
I'll keep that in mind.
That old gravedigger will be suspicious, so I'd bring him some kind of offering. He's always dragging those carcasses, so I'm sure he'd appreciate a slab of fresh meat from Troskowitz butcher.
Good idea.
He lives a short way from the cemetery, so at least the meat won't go bad on the way. Lots of luck, the butcher of Vranik. God be with you. You look like you're as drunk as a lord. Where did you get so wasted?
Oh, it's you! Now, I'm sorry that I didn't let you know.
Good doggy, good boy.
What? Was möchtest du, mein Freund?
What do you have for sale? Word about the price.
Gut, versuchen wir's. Sehr gut. I can agree to that. Ein gutes Geschäft. Auf Wiedersehen. Was wünschst du?
Show me your wares. I'd like to discuss the price.
Warum nicht? Why? You'll convince me with that price? Du wirst sicher zufrieden sein. Bis bald.
You're acting like a child. Go and whistle somewhere else.
Christ, what a day.
Was machst du? Was willst du hier, Bettler? What are you in?
Show me your wares. Let's talk about the price.
Warum nicht? Ja, das ist gut. Finally a good price. Thank you and take care.
Quick!
What do you want from me? Take a look at yourself, you bum!
Ignatius, I'm gonna need your help.
Of course. How many are there? Where do you want to bury them? Shall we grind the teeth up, or do you want to take them away in your purse?
None of that. I have a different, slightly unusual request. Bonnie from Lower Semine sent me. We're looking for a saltpeter pit.
From Lower Semine? What pit?
A saltpeter pit.
I ain't never heard of nothing like that. What's it supposed to be? A pit to hell?
Nah, it's actually just a pit full of carcasses. These white crystals form on the walls of it, and that's exactly what we're after.
Ah, now I get it. You should have said you're looking for the pit I throw carcasses into. What's all this about Salty Peter? I'm going to go there anyway, so I'll take you there.
Really? That was easier than I thought.
Not even a chicken scratches in the dirt without hope of reward, though. You'll help me with something first. I have some collections from some Slatigo farmsteads, and I'd be a fool if I didn't use a helping hand. At least one day I can take it a bit easy.
You want me to help you with your grave-digging business?
Why not? You look like a strong fella. You'll be a good helper.
I have a better idea. You tell me where I can find that pit, and I'll give you a nice piece of fresh meat for it.
I won't say no to that. Show me what you have. Oh, aye, fresh meat. What a feast that'll make. Now, listen closely. That pit of yours lies at the end of a long journey that we'll take together on my wagon.
So you got meat out of me for nothing?
When I see how much you lot in Lower Semine are interested in it, I'm not just going to hand it to you on a plate. But thanks for the meat, and don't worry about a thing. Grave digging is a job like any other. Sooner or later, everyone needs our services. And if it wasn't for us knackers, folk would have to deal with their animal carcasses themselves.
Of course. I understand. I'm just a little worried about what people will say about me when they see me with you. I wouldn't like to lose the honor I've earned as squire to a nobleman.
Don't worry about what people say. They'll only strip you of your honor if you let them. So what then? Shall we take a nice little ride with my boys Snorter and Dragonfly here? Nice and early, at daybreak.
Let's get this over with then.
Didn't you understand me? We ain't going nowhere now. Like I said, be here at daybreak. That's between night and day. Do you understand?
Is there some place I can wait for morning to come?
Of course, if you've got nothing better to do, you can sit here with me. If you know how to read, I have a book hidden in the outhouse I got of a dead fella. That'll make the time go faster. In fact, you can keep it. All I can do is admire all them fancy squiggles in it anyway.
And where can I sleep?
At the inn in Truskowitz. Get a good breakfast there, too. You'll need it to be at full strength. Here's a little something so you know I take care of my helpers. See you in the morning.
Oh, you...
Quick! God!
I wish you a pleasant morning.
I don't know if I'm completely ready for this. But let's get going.
The dew is still on the leaves. The roads are clear. You don't need your horse. I'll stable him here. It'll be heaven for him. In any case, heaven's always close here. Hop on the wagon and Snorter and Dragonfly here will take care of us. Did I bring that stuff for Visor? Meat? Bane? Aesop? Got it all. Good. Come on, then. We've got a long journey ahead of us, so get yourself comfortable so your arse won't hurt. So, you say you're from Lower Samine, eh?
Well, you could say that. I help the miller with whatever I can. I got a place to sleep there. Soon I'll be able to call the miller uncle.
I remember Crazel when he was still a wee lad. Even then he was a great big smart-ass. When I buried his parents, he was traipsing somewhere through the world. Maybe you heard what they say about Lower Samine round these parts. Crazel don't sell short measure, not that. He looks out for his reputation, but his helpers have been seen often in the villages after dark, looking fishy. Or during the day, in the pillories. Don't that bunny of yours belong to that gang too?
Unfortunately, she does. Crazel ordered Bonnie and her accomplice Zinnek to scrape saltpeter off the walls of the sties. And when they had a chance to loiter about in the yards here in the region, well, they made good use of the opportunity to line their purses.
Ay, ay, ay. What have I gotten myself into in my twilight years? Lower Samine's a thorn in the side for a lot of folk. Some on account of the competition. Some is just rubbed up the wrong way by that Crazel. Either way, all they need's the slightest excuse to grab their pitchforks, go and grab the miller and shove his face right in his own millstone. Yeah! Yeah! Whoa, boys! Whoa! Come on! Come on! Are you deaf? Oh, they're acting stubborn again. Now listen, Henry. Here on the left side, you'll see the ruins of a cottage that's been abandoned for a few years.
I can't see a thing through those bushes.
You'll go and have a close look. Don't worry. I have a trap set inside the cottage. I wanted to lure a wolf into it, but that didn't work out. There's a deer rotting there unnecessarily. So hop in there and bring it to the wagon. Finally. At least we're not blocking the road too much.
Far from Ignatius. I should get back so he doesn't leave without me.
Ugh, Jesus, what a stench. Better quickly throw it in a sack and take it back to the wagon.
I want to talk to you.
I'm coming.
Move it!
What's going on, Ignatius?
Ah, I'm trying to explain to these fellas we've got nothing to do with no thieving around here. They should go to Lower Samine to complain.
2 stinking pieces of shit was sneaking around our sties and cellars and lining their purses with silver too while they was at it. Some scruffy and dunger. You must be scruffy, eh?
I'm Henry, and those, names mean nothing to me.
Like I said, if it's rotten carrion they're after, they should have come to me. A passion for knacking is the only thing we have in common.
Is that so? So prove it then.
Ignatius is telling the truth. There are all sorts of types causing trouble in these parts. Not just from Lower Samine. Ignatius and I thank you for taking on the job of guarding the roads, making sure that honest, if somewhat grubby tradesmen stay safe.
Aye, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. So, thanks.
Really good work, lad. Well, time waits for no man. Let's all carry on with our duties, eh?
All right, listen. We'll be going then. If you happen to run into them 2 thieves, you tell us right away, got it?
Of course.
You can count on it.
Glad to hear it. Let's go, fellas. Maybe...
What's next?
Not much left for us to do here, eh?
Hopefully our luck will hold out, and we'll only be breaking the limbs of carcasses today. The next farm's just up ahead. Hop on, and let's go. Here we come, Snorter. Don't worry. That was just a kind of little favour from me. Now we'll help the locals here in Jar with their carcasses.
So far, I've just carried sacks. I already did that for the miller.
Yesterday, the good wife from that farm came and told me both their pigs died. So we'll scoop them up and haul them off. I mean, you scoop them up. Haul them to my cart. She says it was a curse. There was a flash of lightning. The pigs started trembling, squealing and puking, and then keeled over and dropped dead.
All right,
That's what you get. People sin here in their seclusion, thinking they're out of sight of our Lord.
It ain't my first day doing this job, so I could see right off them pigs had been poisoned. The good wife swore them pigs were happy as, well, pigs in shit. She said they even let them go to a nearby stream to have a wallow. It flows here through the forest on the right. Since we're here, you ought to go and take a look around there. Check how clear that spring really is.
All right, I'll see what's going on there.
And I'm going to enjoy having a helper. At least for one day. Maybe I'll roll around in the grass here with Snorter and Dragonfly.
I know very well what you've done.
Yeah. Ugh, and another.
God reward you for it.
God don't reward me much, but I'll probably get something from the bailiff for hauling.
Well, I wish you and your helper lots of luck today. May God bless you.
You too. You too.
Yeah. Is this really worth it?
Pretty empty, eh? They live like royalty here.
Pigs are heavier than deer, eh? Get over here so we can carry on.
Don't shove!
I took care of the carcasses. We can drive on.
And what about this mysterious curse?
Oh, right. Slipped my mind. The watering spot, you said?
Aye. Take a look around. See if you find anything fishy. Do you want to keep going or not?
Those pigs came here to drink. Where to now? I can smell something upstream. Ignatius will leave without me if I run off from him. It really wasn't a curse. There are rotting carcasses in the water upstream from the watering spot. No wonder the pigs caught some disease.
Well, what do you know? I was right. I'll give you a hand. It'd take you all night on your own.
I took care of the carcasses. We can drive on.
Nice work. There's even a bit of meat left for me.
Yeah, you'd eat that. They've been lying there God knows how long.
But nicely in the cold. There's nothing wrong with it. Anyway, you won't be eating it, so don't worry about it. Let's keep going. Seeing as how you don't obey me, you're surely horsing around today. So far it ain't that bad, eh? You don't have to take down no hanged man or bury an unbaptized child.
Well, ever since I started working for the miller, all I did was carry sacks. The sack makers here in the region must live like kings. Of course, it could be a lot worse.
I like having to carry sacks full of thistles. Now listen to me closely. You won't be carrying anything at the next farmstead. Instead, you'll have to make one carcass there. See, the work of a knacker ain't just about clearing away dead animals. Now and then you've got to put down some creature, so it don't suffer. Or, like today, to put it down so everyone around it don't have to suffer. In this case, we're talking about a dog.
I'm sorry, Ignatius, my friend, but you can't expect me to do that.
In that case, as soon as we get where we're going, you can just get off the wagon and go and look for that pit yourself. If you don't do what I tell you, you're useless to me. So I'll be useless to you too.
Maybe there's another way. I'll try to come up with something.
That cur belongs to the greengrocer, Vizar. I've heard they're both pretty fierce. Don't draw too much attention to yourself at the farmstead. I'll give you some Aesop potion to drink first, and some meat and bane. Soak the meat with the poison and throw it to the dog. He'll probably be locked in a pen somewhere. As soon as it's done, we'll disappear before anyone notices anything. I got paid well for it from the neighbors, so don't fuck it up for me. Yeah! Yeah!
Greetings to you.
Oh, Sakra! The dog isn't here. The door's open. Where did he run off to? Barking? He's coming from over there.
Don't give me that look. You're not getting any.
Bonnie? What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Now, first, tell me what you're doing here. And how come you're with that beast?
He's no beast. I came here to save him.
You mean steal him?
For him, it'll be a redemption from that horse and master of his. I'll take care of him, in place of my poor dead sniffer.
Bonnie... The gravedigger sent me to kill the dog. He's been paid to do it by the people whose livestock that beast killed. It's the last thing I need to do before he shows me the pit.
It's not the animal's fault. When Zenek and I were here last, I saw how old Vysarik treats him. He doesn't give him food, he abuses him. With a master like that, he won't last long. You wouldn't kill a dumb creature just because its master is a sick horseman, would you?
Well, you don't have to convince me. Ever since the gravedigger told me to do it, I've been trying to figure out how to save that dog. If you want to take him, I won't stop you.
You're a much better Christian than I thought you were. I'll take him to the lair. We'll meet there.
Hurry off now, before someone sees us together.
Come on now, boy. You'll like it in the lair.
Heel! Heel!
Oh, you pooch.
It's taken care of.
Taken care of? What do you mean?
I set the dog free. He didn't deserve to die.
For fuck's sake, didn't deserve to die? We were supposed to get rid of him, because that's just what he deserves.
Bonnie from the mill came and took the dog before we got to him.
Well, fuck me. How much more is that girl going to steal before she has enough?
Oh, she'll take better care of him than Baysar did. All he needs is to be fed properly, and he won't be dangerous anymore.
I surely fucking hope not. Because if he runs off and ravages something or someone again, then we didn't help at all. Let's go before we start looking suspicious.
So this is it. This is the pit.
Slowly, boy. Slowly. Have a bit of respect. Death always deserves respect, whether it's people or animals.
But there's hardly 3 heaps here. Is this really it? Are you yanking my pizzle again?
Of course not. True, it used to be one big pit. But then I found out when you pile up carcasses in smaller pits and throw some wet hay between them, it all rots better. And the better it rots, the more niter you'll have. Are you going to take some right away?
I won't. I'll just tell Crazel where you have it. I don't know if he'll take something away. Maybe he'll just make his own pit according to your design.
Now that would be a great honor.
Well, I reckon I'm delaying the inevitable. I'll still have to taste it.
You're going to taste it?
It's the only way I can be certain it really is saltpeter.
God's nails. And they say I'm disgusting. Wait a moment. I can't say I'm all that satisfied with your help, but I don't want you to think old Ignatius is an ungrateful bastard, so I have something here for you. Although, to tell the truth, you didn't much grow on me.
Well, that's a shame. Because I thought you were a pretty good fella. In fact, I'm actually kind of fond of you in a way.
If you're trying to come out smelling of roses now, don't bother. Here's something that'll definitely come in handy if you ever need to go through all this again. Either with me or somewhere else.
Thanks.
Taste it then. Get to it. This I have got to see. You didn't have to make such a feast of
it. Look at me. I'm a Lord's messenger to a taster of cadavers. Cold.
Greetings, my friend.
I found the place where we can harvest saltpeter. You just head out of Troskovitz towards Apollonia, carry on alongside the road, then head off it at the right spot. Only it's not a pit, it's 3 piles of earth. The gravedigger Ignatius drove me there himself.
And is it the real stuff? Did you taste it?
Yeah. And I hope I never have to do that again. Ugh. I think the experience has changed me forever.
Oh, come on. You whine more than Zinnik. It's just commonplace salt. I was hoping it'd be closer. To go all the way to Apollonia. If I send 2 wagons, that should be enough.
What should I do?
That means I could mix a barrel and a half.
Crazul, focus. What else do you need from me?
Oh, sorry. What were you asking? About a reward? It's right here.
Thanks. How's it going with the golem?
Well, the whole thing is really appealing to a scholar of my field of interest and important for humanity. But certain circumstances have emerged which, unfortunately, move its creation somewhere further into the future.
Wait, what do you mean? So there won't be any golem?
Not for now.
What about all the niter? The life essence?
I admitted to myself it's maybe too much to take on, and I decided to go back to my roots.
So the search for saltpeter was for nothing?
Not at all. The saltpeter will help us create primordial matter. The origin. Chaos. Materia prima.
God. Here we go again.
As alchemical scholars, we actually have only one task before us. To penetrate the diaphanum and find out where it gets its disposition and power from. Only then will we understand the nature of the shadows.
Eh?
I'll explain it to you.
Tell me then, what's the next task then, Crazul?
From behind the closed gates of Trotsky come quiet whispers, carried by the wind, all the way here to me in the mill. Do you hear it too?
No. Reckon my ears aren't that good.
Scribe Erezim received a trunk from Prague, and in that trunk was...
The document of Hermes Trismegistos?
No, a book. And from an author more venerable than Hermes. It's thin, with a sand-colored cover, embossed. Ordinary at first glance. but the treasure's inside. You might say it's kind of an alchemical cookbook.
So I'm gonna have to pick some locks again, eh? And in the castle, no less. I'd like to know how I'm supposed to get in there. Trotsky is shut tight.
For some. The gates of Trotsky may appear to be closed to us, mere mortals. But why try to force your way in when there's a person they'll invite in themselves?
What person?
Hold on, we'll get to that. We've got the Samine wedding coming up. I can't wait to try out my new potion against drunkenness there. What about you? You still need to get there?
Certainly. It's why I decided to work for you. Or have you forgotten? I hope your promise still stands.
Of course it does. What do you take me for? Start by quickly finding some decent clothes. Ad charisma tuendum. You look like a vagabond in what you're wearing now. St. Paul wouldn't be pleased with you.
So you'll really get me into that wedding? Am I dreaming?
No, you're not. But before you start celebrating, we won't be going by ourselves. We'll have company. Or, to be more exact, the two of us will be accompanying a certain person. Me as a friend and host, and you as a bodyguard, loyal servant. Call it what you will.
And who is this mysterious person?
A true lady will come to the wedding with us. Radiant as the morning star, refined as pure gold. All will be stunned by her beauty, and she'll be our lockpick that will find the weak spot in the gate to Trotsky. All it'll take is a little push, and clunk, the lock will open, and the book will be mine.
What weak spot?
The castle's weak spot is Chamberlain Ulrich, because he himself has a weakness for women. Of all the single damsels at the wedding, ours will be the most charming and irresistible for him. Noble or not, he's a mortal man, and he'll start to think with his male member. We will watch as he becomes feverish with lust. Soon he'll be begging to take our companion to Trotsky. He'll pretend his motives are pure, so she'll be more comfortable. And when the Chamberlain becomes insistent, you, as her personal bodyguard, will accept his offer. Naturally, he'll say you won't leave her side so you can defend her honor. Once in Trotsky, Ulrich will do everything to get you to leave him alone with her. And that will be your chance.
I can hardly believe that you, of all people, would come up with such a straightforward plan.
Well, it's not all that straightforward. I admit there's a certain element here that makes everything more complicated. First, we have to find our gracious lady.
What?
Look, she doesn't have to be a lady per se. We just need a wench with a pretty face. We'll get her a nice dress, some perfume. She doesn't even have to speak. We'll do the talking.
Could Bonnie do it?
She could. The only hitch is everyone and his dog knows her face. Nobody with any sense would let her into the Samine wedding.
I'm not a matchmaker.
Who's talking about matchmaking? You go and show what's on offer, that's all. Nothing improper will happen, most likely, but even so, we need a woman who's ready for anything. You can find lots of capable girls at the Gelioff baths, including some who aren't so well known. It's true, Dorothy can be a bit unpleasant, but you'll be giving her an offer she can't refuse.
Well, the last time I dealt with her getting your disguise washed, she was quite delightful.
You'll tell her I'm offering enough groschen to buy 2 cows or a small cottage. That should soften her up.
All right, I'll take care of it.
Excellent. You're a talented, likable youngster, like Knight Roland of yore. I have complete faith in you. And don't forget, We're going to need to dress the girl up and make her smell nice so she comes across like a real lady. So, stop off at Troskowitz as well and get her a nice brocade dress and some long-lasting perfume. Mintha would be ideal.
Where can I find the dress?
Where do you think? The butcher's? Go and see the tailor. Bartoszek has just the thing in his shop. A beautiful red dress made of Tyrolean brocade.
Why that dress exactly?
Because red is the color of love and passion. And rich Tyrolean brocade is just begging to be touched. Ulrich won't know where to look. The dress is likely to be pretty expensive, but that's no obstacle for you, right?
Where can I find the perfume?
Emmerich the apothecary might have something. They say he makes some perfume for his wife. Or ask Betty the innkeeper. She may be a god-awful battle axe, but a nice-smelling one. Or get hold of the recipe and make your own Mintha. As an alchemy apprentice, you should be able to manage.
I'll be going then.
Once you've got everything ready for the wedding, we'll meet in front of the fortress gate. There, I'll let our lady in on some other details of our plan. But that won't be for your ears. Anyway, you'll be rehearsing your speech to Lord von Berghoff then, won't you?
I can't wait.
Oh my. It seems my petticoat's all ruffled up.
What do you want here, you yokel?
Crazel has an offer for you.
That old goat always sends you whenever he needs something. What does he want this time?
He's looking for a pretty girl.
That's nothing. I've got plenty of them. What does he want her for? Not for himself, I hope.
No. He needs her to pose as a lady.
A lady? You mean a noblewoman?
Something like that.
Well, I don't know if any of my girls could pull it off. They can't even eat like a noble with cutlery.
That won't be a problem. She won't even have to say much.
Why does he need one? Not for himself, I hope.
No. He wants her to turn the Chamberlain's head.
Ah, so she's supposed to end up with Ulrich, is that it? How much is he offering?
He says he can offer enough groschen for you to buy 2 cows. Or a small cottage.
It's quite a lot for our usual services.
Isn't it?
But that ain't nearly enough for certain services.
I don't understand. An offer like that? What's the problem?
You know what? I'm tired of this. Let's go and see what the girls have to say. They'll tell you about what they've been through with the Master Chamberlain. Girls, come here. Right, girls. We have a messenger here from Goodman Crazel. Tell us what you wanted to ask.
It's about the Semime wedding.
And the Chamberlain, who one of you should attend to.
God, anything but that.
Dorothy, I actually have a lot of work to do, and...
Well, who wants to go first? Anna.
What should I say?
What should she say,
Tell me, why don't you want anything to do with the Chamberlain?
Well, the Lord Chamberlain invited me to Trotsky, and the girls warned me that it would be different to what I was used to. So I asked him if I should take a different soap or something. Or does the Master Chamberlain not like silk? Or if his bed is hard and my back will hurt.
If only.
But they said I'd have to do things that... How'd you put it?
Things they haven't even thought of in hell.
I thought the Master Chamberlain might be of a different religion, and that fucking a Christian girl would be a sin. But he believes in the same God as the rest of us.
Which makes it all the worse.
Then I thought maybe he was cruel to the girls, but I hear that's not the case either. It's not what he wants to do to us that's against God.
But what he wants us to do to him.
I thought he had leprosy.
Tell the girls how much Crazel is offering.
Enough that you'll be able to buy 2 cows.
Or even a small cottage. Not bad, eh? Well, is anyone willing to go with the Chamberlain?
Not even for a golden goose.
I'd rather be celibate.
I thought he had leprosy.
Aye, but it's a tidy sum. I reckon I'll have to choose one of you myself.
Dorothy, I swear that
I'm not going anywhere. You can't make me.
Dorothy, I'll scrub all the tubs here for the rest of my life, I swear. All of them, every day.
I'll do that too, and I'll even take care of the outhouses.
Girls, come now.
I'll go then. If I can handle it a second time, it'll be a miracle. And maybe they'll even make me a saint.
No, you can't. Dorothy, please don't make her do that again.
Dorothy, for the love of God.
Calm down, girls. Don't worry. I'll never send you to the Chamberlain again. I just wanted to show Crazel's lackey here what you've been keeping from me for so long.
Christ almighty. I was starting to accept my fate.
God in heaven.
Oh, I feel filthy just thinking about it. I'd like to jump in a bath.
So, in case you didn't get the message, lad, no girl from Zhelioff is going with the Chamberlain.
I still don't get it. What's so terrible about him?
Weren't you listening?
What he demands is just... heathen it is.
It's worse than if he had leprosy.
He's not a sodomite, is he?
If only.
That would be a doddle.
I'd go with him twice if that's all it was.
You don't want to know, believe me.
All right. What am I supposed to do now?
Do what you like. We've said our piece. Go and find some heathen girl. A harlot like that came here recently, asking for work. She was from them nomads.
Aye, I remember her. Nose in the air, talking fancy like some scholar.
She introduced herself as Enneline of Winterthur, like she was some noblewoman.
I didn't trust her for a moment. She was pretty, though. There's no denying that. I wanted to give her a chance, but she asked for so much coin. I thought I must be hearing things. Try asking after her in the camp. Maybe she's got a stronger stomach than my girls.
Poor thing.
I'll pray for her.
Well, thank you. When's the last time I ate something?
Leave me alone.
La pesca guba de la fishing.
La pesca guba.
Hey! You have no business here! That's enough. If you're looking for trouble, we can get the bailiff involved. Pay for the damages right now.
Now, hold on. Wait a moment. What I wanted to say was, you should be glad that nothing worse happened. You're the one that should be paying me, woman.
What? Are you out of your mind? I will show you. Once I report you, you will get the pillory.
I'm really not in the mood for this.
So, you're going to ignore me then? Do you think you will get away with this? Just wait and